Hello, I'm Professor Julio Davila.
And I'm Professor Carmen King Ramirez. Today we're going to talk to you about differences between academic culture in the US and Mexico.
We're basing this on our experience as both professors and students in universities on both sides of the border.
The first difference we'd like to talk to you about is the way that students declare majors in the US and Mexico. For example, in the United States, students are required to do 2 years of general education courses. Many of these courses are not directly related to the student's major, and students aren't required to declare a major until their junior year.
Now, in Mexico, when you start college, you have to declare a major, and all the courses that you take are going to be very focused on that major.
That leads us to our second difference. Because in the United States, you have to take several courses, 2 years of coursework in general education classes, you are usually not with the same group of students. But it's very possible that if you are taking 4 or 5 classes, you have different students in all of those classes.
Now, in Mexico, on the other hand, the people that you start studying with are the people that are going to be your classmates for the next 4 to 5 years. The only way the class would change is if somebody drops out.
And because of that, socialization looks very different in Mexican and US universities. In the United States, a lot of times students will socialize where they live. And for many students, a cultural tendency is to move out of their parents' homes at 18 and move into college dorms. These dorms are located on campus and provide students with easy access, usually walking or biking to their classes. Students may also choose to become part of a sorority or fraternity, which are community-based organizations that provide different services. If they do that, then those students will live in the fraternity or sorority house.
Now, in Mexico, because you are studying a major from the very beginning, you spend a lot of time with your classmates, and it's very common to see very tight-knit friendships emerge in the classes. Also, in Mexico, you're going to be living in your house probably. Unless you are an out-of-state student or a foreign student, it's not very common to move out, even if you are 18. It's much more common to move out until later in life when you are working and you can afford to start the down payment on a house.
And because of that, the way that students look at their progress in their academic tracks is different. In the United States, students generally refer to their 4 years using the term freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. They don't have this idea or concept of generation or generación, which exists in Mexico.
Yes, in Mexico, we do have those terms, like I'm a junior or I'm a senior, but they're very informal. People here refer to the semester. What semester are you in would be a common question. Because when you're studying a major, if you say, oh, I'm a second semester, that has very specific implications as to what your level of studies is and what you will currently be progressing on.
Lastly, we'd like to talk about a major difference in the way that the academic and university culture is manifest in the community. In the United States, there is a strong tie between sports and academic life, both in high schools and at universities. Because of this, it's very common that when students begin courses at a university, they go and they buy their university gear. They buy hats or t-shirts or sweatshirts that have the university mascot, the university colors, the name of the university, and even people who live in the community but maybe don't attend that university will also buy this type of clothing. So if there's a game day specifically, you'll see everyone dressed in this clothing.
Here, not so much. Basically, you're proud of your university. I went here, I went there, but people don't make a big fuss out of the university. If there's a game, people might go, but we don't televise it usually. People are not as aware of college sports. And even if you are a student, you probably don't pay that much attention to it unless you're like a super fan of the sport. I think that students' life is much more focused on the academic side of things, and you socialize outside the university.
So these are some major differences that we've noticed through our experiences at both US and Mexican universities. Please stay tuned for our next videos about academic life in the United States and Mexico.